Hi, this is Anate, and I am first going to start by apologizing that my Module 3 is about 25 hours overdue. I had a lot of trouble with this one, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But anyway, first of all, my previous experiences with QDAS or qualitative data analysis software. I have taken 2 classes on Atlas TI with Dr. Paulus at the University of Georgia. They were weekend workshops. I took the second one because a new version of Atlas TI came out, and as I'm finding with this trying to teach myself deduce, that I am a much better learner when the gradual release model is used. And by that I mean I like to watch someone else do it first and explain it to me, and then I like to do it while they watch and can answer any questions that I might have until I finally feel successful in doing it on my own. And just figuring it out from manuals is really tough for me and frustrating. So I hope to get better by it. I've managed to learn not to just throw up my hands in the air and give up. I keep going, but it doesn't always work. So anyway, so recommendations I have are, if you're like me, go to workshops where people actually can show you and watch you do it and make sure you know how to do everything correctly. I also recommend that you do look at all of the videos. Some of the analysis software programs are better than others, I think. The help videos, Atlas TIs are very helpful. I didn't find Deduce's videos to be quite as helpful. And my other recommendation is to use the program frequently, because the more you use it, the easier it becomes and the less you have to look up everything that you want to do. So that is, those are my recommendations. Anyway, how do I envision using qualitative data analysis software to support my digital research flow? Well, in going back to the Gilbert et al. Article, I am going to talk about how I would use it in the 4 broad activities of the qualitative analysis process that they mention in their article. And so the first one is organizing data. And in organizing data, Gilbert et al. Say that it is both a mechanical activity and an analytical one. And the reason for that is because the first thing that you're going to do is to upload all of your documents into one place, no matter what kind of documents they are, text, video, photo, anything like that, audio. And so you'll upload all of those, and then you, or I, am going to use this feature to manage the large amounts of unstructured information and data that a significant qualitative study generates. And in doing so, it will allow me to see all of my documents in one place. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to explore the data. And Gilbert et al. Say that this includes becoming familiar with the data by initially reading, viewing, listening to data, and commenting on it. So I would explore the data by coding it, and I could also explore it by searching for content and connections. I could retrieve all of the excerpts about a certain code. I can review my comments and memos and examine relationships between codes and themes, look at word frequencies and relationships between words. So there are a lot of things to do in that exploring the data. The next step that Gilbert et al. Talk about are interpreting and reflection on the data, which requires thinking and rethinking. And in this section, it would also include reviewing your memos and writing up memos, and also creating visualizations of your data. Atlas TI does a really nice job of this, where you can have the code in the middle and then all the excerpts around it, and then create relationships between those different excerpts. So doing this gives you a really good familiarity with your data, and you also might want to go back and organize it in a different way, because now that it's all coded and you've seen relationships, you might want to organize that data in a different way. So you're constantly going back and using earlier parts of the software package. And then you come to integrating data, and this, according to Gilbert et al., involves connecting it to other knowledge, such as other studies, references, or comparisons across groups. So in this section, I think it would be particularly helpful to go back, and I would also like to have a paperless literature review. That would also be an Atlas TI, and then hopefully I could compare and make comparisons between what was in the literature review and what I found, to base what I'm finding in the broader context of information on that certain topic or question. So that is how I envision using qualitative data analysis software. The next thing that we had to do was read or view some introductory videos, about 2 to 3 of the ones that were posted in the module. I chose Atlas TI, Deduce, and Max QDA, and I'm going to come back to the things that we were supposed to talk about with those, because when we had to select a package to upload data into, memo and code, and then share our process, I actually ended up using Deduce to do this assignment, with mixed results, I'll admit. So I'm going to take you over into my Deduce projects. So here it is. You can see projects are listed here. They give you a demo project, which is pretty neat. There aren't really great videos that go with it, though, so it was a little difficult to figure out sometimes. And so here is what I did with the qualitative data analysis software analysis of all of those. So I uploaded the transcripts of the 3 videos, the one about Max QDA, Atlas TI, and Deduce. And then I'm the only user. I have 3 pieces of media, which in Atlas TI they call documents. I created 3 descriptors. I don't know what happened there, because I actually created many more descriptors than that, so I'll have to research that. I coded, I had 15 codes. I applied the codes 53 times, and I have 54 excerpts. So that is the work that I did. You can see my codes down here, and you can also see all of my excerpts here, but we can search those by topic. Then over here, I also entered in some descriptors, and I basically took those right from Dr. Paulus's PDF file that she uploaded about all of the qualitative data analysis software information, and she listed country of origin. I put platform, whether it works with Mac or PC, if there's a mobile app. Does it analyze text, video, image? Does it allow you to transcribe? Does it look at survey data? All of those different things. So I went ahead and uploaded this, and you do this by creating 2 Excel files, one that just has the descriptors, and then another one that has the descriptors running across the top of the spreadsheet, sorted by, which ones does Atlas TI have, which one does Deduce have. And so here is what I did. So I didn't really find this very helpful, though, because you can weight these descriptions. Like if one of them, say, was how many hours a week a researcher used the package, the software, then you could say between 1 and 5, 6 and 10, 11 and 15, and you could weight them. But none of these really allowed for you to weight them. You could also weight them by sentiment. So if, say if it allows collaboration, if there was a way to indicate that it allows collaboration in small ways, in medium ways, and in large ways, but the transcripts didn't give me quite enough information to determine how much ability you had to collaborate, so I couldn't create those weighted descriptions. But you can see here where I have I ended up actually putting, because I forgot to put my ID, here are the different programs, and I put how much they cost. Do they allow collaboration? Do they have citation management? Do they allow integration with social media? So those sorts of things. So you can see it here all at once. And then my codes are here. So back to the Word document, we had to talk about what kind of claims that the companies made about their products. And so one of the claims is that they all talk about facilitating teamwork. So you can see I have quotes on that from all three of the different programs, and if you scroll you can see the exact quote. So Deduce says that it's team-oriented, it encourages effective, efficient teamwork from all corners of the globe. Max QDA wasn't quite as specific, it just talked about working in teams. And then Atlas TI, also not as much information about working in teams. So really Deduce is the one that pushes working in teams. And then let's see, then we'll talk about data visualization, and we'll look at the excerpts for that. And only Atlas TI and Deduce talked about data visualization. So again, the Atlas TI one helps you dig into your data, examine your data, discover meanings and patterns, answer complex questions, and reach quality conclusions, is what it said. And then in Deduce, it says our real-time interactive data visualization engine is designed to reveal the hidden patterns beneath your data. So Max QDA didn't have anything that alluded to this code. And the other thing that you can do with these codes is you can export them, and so I ended up exporting one, and let me see if I can find it for you on my messy desktop. So here we already did visualization, teamwork, types of data. So if you want to open the exported file, it comes out in a Word document that's easy to cut and paste into something else. And I don't know why it's not opening. Okay, so that was an opening, so I will just show you how you do that. So another thing that I noticed a lot of them talked about is the access, how they were very accessible. So if you went and you looked, so it was just Max QDA. One of Max QDA's greatest advantages is accessibility. Deduce pushed that a little bit more. And so if you wanted to see these, you could go down to the bottom here. Let me lift this up for you. You can go down to the bottom and it won't lift up anymore, and there's a button down here that says export excerpts. So you would do this, and I found I don't need all of this information, so I select none, and then I just want the media title, which means which of the three programs it is, and the code application. And if you do export, then it exports it it's ready to download. You click OK, and it's going to download, and I'm probably not going to be able to open it for you. Let's see. So its download is completed, but it won't let me show you. Anyway, it just comes up as an Excel spreadsheet, and it has the program name and then the quotes that go along with it, just like this, but it's an Excel spreadsheet. So I'll quit trying to show you that because it seems I cannot show you anything else that's on my desktop for some reason. And then we could also look at all of the excerpts, all totaled, and so you can see that I have information about the developers, the ease of use, visualization, a lot of codes about access and ease of use. And then I created a memo about one, and if I click on that memo, it's not showing me what I wrote. Access to data anytime, anywhere. I think I wrote, so if I did that, I would say that, and I think I already did this, but because deduce is a cloud-based data analysis program, it very much emphasizes the fact that all you need to work is the internet. And then you would save that, which I thought I had already done, and there you go. There. Oh, it probably was there. You just have to scroll over it, and then you'll see that there's one excerpt attached. So that is memoing, which I'm sure I could learn to do in a much more efficient way. And then if we come to analysis, and we go to qualitative charts, then we'll see that it creates a code cloud. So you can see that ease of use was the thing that was most talked about. There were 20 excerpts about that. Added feature of being able to do mixed methods. There were 3 quotes about that. This one maybe, a lot of, teamwork, 5 quotes. That was another big one. Memoing was only talked about in one of the packages. And same with, which surprised me, reporting and presentations, the ease of being able to download or export information to put right into reports was only really talked about in one of the packages. So you can just see that this is the word cloud. You can also create a 3D code cloud, which I don't know. I like the other one better, actually. You can look at code co-occurrences, and so here, added feature of mixed methods and comparison to other programs is where there is one code occurrence, and ease of use and teamwork, ease of use and comparison. So that is how you can see the co-occurrences, and if you click on them, it will show you the excerpts. So that is the co-occurrence. Code application, we can look and see. So here are the 3 programs, and here are the codes that I used, And you can see very easily here that Max QDA doesn't say anything about the cost. The two other programs don't really say anything about the cost either, but it says there are no hidden costs for Atlas TI, and that in Deduce it's a fraction of the cost of other programs. So you can see the quotes that apply to that. And then for ease of use, this is the one that had the most, and Atlas TI mentioned it 8 times, Deduce 8 times, and Max QDA 4 times. And if we look at those, you can see they use words like click, ready to go, easily and instantly, quickly import and export, easy in, easy out, fast and easy access. So just a lot of these things that use those words: easy, seamlessly weaving together. So those are the ones for Deduce. And if we come to Atlas TI, they talk also about quick and comprehensive, you're ready to go, one-shot solution, simplicity, getting started is easy, simply put all your data together in Atlas TI, and incredibly easy to use and intuitive, and Atlas TI is the easiest. So the word easy appears a great deal. If we come to Max QDA, it only has 4 mentions of ease, and so there's my resource, Max QDA. Max QDA, you can manage it all, incredibly easy to use, lets you analyze it all quickly and easily. So the word easily appeared quite a bit, obviously. And you can do that for all of those. And then the weighted statistics, I didn't weight anything. I mentioned about how you could talk about whether it happened rarely, sometimes, or frequently, or the emotions that were attached to it, and then is the code present or absent. Here you can just see again whether the code is present or absent. And so you can see only one talked about memoing. Deduce, the transcript was longer, but it also just told you a lot more. It really went into security, whereas the other ones didn't. I thought it was interesting that for the developers, for the developers, it frequently mentioned things like, well, this one just said pioneers in the field of computer-assisted qualitative data analysis, but the other two said developed by researchers for researchers, and the Max QDA or the Atlas TI again said it was developed by information technology experts, so they were not researchers. And I think I saw it twice, Max QDA, developed by researchers for researchers, and then Deduce says the same thing pretty much. By researchers for researchers. So sorry I got hung up there. But anyway, that is how it works. And if we come back, here's my excerpt data. It did pull up. I just didn't see it. So on this, we are looking at the types of data. It won't expand, but if I were just in Excel, it would. So the types of data, it lists here all the different kinds of data that you can use in Atlas TI. So you can excerpt it into a spreadsheet that looks like that. I won't save that. So back to the questions, and I'm sorry this is getting so long. So you saw the claims that they made about access, cost, who developed it, words, phrases, and images that appeared, easy, simple. The discourse that was used was really kind of like the discourse of a salesperson trying to get you to buy something. One thing that I like too is two of the packages descriptions started out talking about how data is messy and that this is going to make it better. This package will make it better. Differences that I noticed in between the companies, Deduce gave you a lot more information. It seems much more user-friendly from the description, but from my own personal experience of using both the videos of how you do things, so how you set up codes and descriptors, and then also using the user's guide where you can here creating media files. I just didn't find it as helpful as the help that you get with Atlas TI. So so those were some of the differences, and the conclusions that I made is that basically all of the different programs do very similar things but to different degrees, and some programs have special features, but they aren't really very different at all. So I'm going to have to play with Deduce a bit more because it took me a long time to figure out what I showed you. I hope you all have a good evening. I'm sorry this was so long.